story.
Do it.
Okay. You know what? I'll frame it this way. When I was smoking weed once, I imagined this story. So I imagined that I was standing next to Bruce Willis, one of my idols, one of cinematic idols. I certainly didn't base my life on the teachings of John McClane, but I liked that he was the everyman hero. And I really liked that Bruce came from New Jersey. That was important to me. I was like, this motherfucker came from Penns Grove, New Jersey, and now he's John McClane. Like, you could come from New Jersey and something cool would happen. So I was emotionally invested in him. I was a huge Moonlighting fan and stuff, not just the Die Hard stuff, but the Moonlighting was to me, pornography for the ears, because it was all about dialogue, and he delivered it so perfectly. And I even loved the fucking wine cooler commercials, man. When I was a kid, he would shill for fucking Seagram's Golden Wine Coolers, and I would wait for those commercials to come on and tape them with an old-style Betamax, because it was he just seemed like so smooth. He would just sit there and be like, Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler, and I was like, oh my God, I want to get drunk, you know? And I was 11 years old, but I was like, he's selling me on this fucking booze. So I loved the dude. I absolutely fucking did. So imagine if I was standing on a street in Brooklyn, and we're at a light. There's a stop sign here, so traffic is coming up a side street, and so periodically traffic has to stop. And I'm standing, imagine me, if this ever happened, which it didn't, but pretend if you will, I'm standing next to Bruce Willis. And it's awkward because he doesn't really like to engage that much. You wait for him to talk to you and stuff. But, you know, I wanted to be there for him in my imagination if this ever really did happen. I wanted to be there for him and stuff, you know, because that's your job as the director. So I was just making myself available. I'd read in some stories that all I did was smoke weed and hide in my trailer, but that was absolute bullshit. I lived on that set because I respected the man from the jump. So there I am standing next to him. Imagine if I was standing next to him. Make pretend I was standing next to him. And a Glazier truck pulls up. And a Glazier truck, for those who don't know, a truck that has glass, big panes of glass on it and stuff. And the dudes pull up and they glance over to their right and then fucking whoop, 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 do a fucking triple take. And it's not because they're like, it's Fatty McNoFly. No shit. They see fucking one of the biggest names in movie history is sitting there, you know? So imagine if two Glaziers pull up to where me and make pretend Bruce Willis are standing. And the Glaziers see Bruce and go absolutely apeshit. Go, woo! Die Hard! They don't use his name. They call him by the title of the movie. Which I love. That's how you know a true movie fan, man. They don't fucking tell, they go, oh man, what about Hunt for Red October? And you think they're talking about the movie, but they're talking about fucking Alec Baldwin. These cats go, Die Hard! Woo! Die Hard, man. I got all the movies. I got Die Hard 1, 2, 3, and 4. I fucking love you! And I'm fucking smiles, man. I love that. I love when people see people that they dig, that they like their work, and they fucking lose all sense of propriety and just go like, it's you, it's fucking you. And, you know, I've seen that firsthand when some people go like, you're Silent Bob, but this was over the top. This dude was like crazy. I was shocked that he didn't get out and ask for an autograph. So I'm beaming. Make pretend if this didn't happen, but I would be beaming. I imagine in that situation I'd be beaming because that's a really cool human moment to see, and I was witness to it, man. I know the feeling, if it existed, of that Glazier truck dude and stuff. But then imagine, make pretend if you will, in an effort to make conversation with one of the most emo bitches on the planet. Make pretend, because this didn't happen. You turn to your right and you go, that's gotta feel awesome, man. That's gotta feel awesome. Isn't that great? And just make pretend. This never happened, I promise you, but just make pretend. Imagine, if you will, write yourself a script where somebody says the worst thing they could fucking say in that moment. Just pretend. Imagine if the dude turned to me and said, I hate the ones that scream Die Hard the most. Imagine how your heart would fucking break. Imagine you'd be sitting there. Imagine if he said something like that and you were like, oh man. And imagine you had to come up with something to say in response. So I imagine I would say something like, you know, I made Clerks 15 years ago and people still yelling at me, and I think that's awesome, man. Like, that would make me feel good. And then just imagine that what you said was so fucking repugnant and stupid to him that he just walked away without saying anything. Now, that never happened at all. But if if it did, would you want to work with that fucking prick ever again? Life's too short, kids. Do the shit that makes you happy. Thanks for coming.